How you doing? I'm Joe the Swiss Tilley.
Billy the Greek here.
All right, and we are the Tilley and Billy Show. You know it. And where are we today, Billy?
Greektown, Daddy.
Yeah, we're Greektown, baby. Greektown. We are at Billiards Academy and Sports Lounge. Family owned and operated since 1971. The oldest pool hall in the city. A great family-friendly place to watch the Leafs, Jays, Raptors, any soccer. Half-price wings on Monday. We're going to have some wings right after the show, and they are dandy, folks. Deadly. Yeah. 485 Danforth Avenue, 416-466-9696. Go to billiardsacademy.ca. Come on down and see Evangelos and his gang.
Wings are a little better than a cheese sandwich, eh?
Oh, no cheese sandwich. No.
Cheese or tuna, boss, eh?
Huh?
Wings are a little
That's
better.
what we usually get, right? I know. Billy usually makes himself a nice little tuna sandwich for the show, but not today. All right, Coolbet is now live in Canada, the world's most transparent sports book. At the end of the click on the link on this show for some special Tilley Billy bonuses from Coolbet. Coolbet, our major sponsor. I also want to take just to give you a rundown what we're talking about today, folks. We're going to be talking about the Leafs. Hey, what do you think of Leafs? Billy's really hot in the Leafs. Really hot in the Leafs. The red hot Maple Leafs. The Raptors. We'll talk some NFL. The Greek had an exceptionally good week, and we'll give him a chance to gloat about that. We'll be talking some boxing. We went to the fights on Saturday night. Saw our pal George Chuvalo there and other folks. Billy the Kid Irwin was there. We saw Brandon, and he was looked pretty impressive, I must say, for his first fight in 14 months. And we'll do a little wrap on a guy named Don Cherry. I think we might have a little bit to say at the end of the show.
We'll tie a bow on. Greek will tie a bow on.
We're going to tie a nice bow on the. So we'll never have to talk about Don Cherry again. How's that? Until he gets his next job.
Until he gets into the Hall of Fame.
That's right. No, of course, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, so we also want to give a shout out to our groups, the groups that follow us, Leafs Nation, and our buddy James Foley, and Carol Meredith Kaminsky.
Hey, Carol. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Carol. Love you.
Dennis
Captain
Johns.
Comeback over here.
Yep. And Pete Rock.
Pete Rock and the boys from Snap. These guys are, this outfit is another Dallas Cowboy fan. These guys, Tilley, they're big fans of myself, and they're okay with you too.
Oh yeah.
They work downtown. They're construction guys, so they reach out to me and they said, "Listen, during our lunch breaks, we all take off of work, and we love what you guys are doing." So
nice.
Pete Rock, attaboy, man.
All right, Pete of the gang, the guys from downtown. All right.
Get back to work too,
I used to be in
man,
the laborers union one
yeah?
time. You know
when was that, man?
Many years
With
ago.
those hands, man, you got butter for hands. What kind of labor you did, man? You've been a social elite for 5 decades, man.
Okay, yeah. We're taking the lights off here, I can see. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about the Leafs, but before we get into the Leafs, and I know you got a lot to say about Mike Babcock, as do a lot of people these days. Okay, so I just want to give a little background on our pal Mike Babcock.
Sure. Tell us what he won, Tilley, again.
No, listen.
For the 100th time.
So
Go ahead.
No, listen.
Yeah, what do you do?
Let's talk about Mike Babcock as a person, because we need to personify somebody.
Who gives a shit if he's as a person?
Listen to this. A lot of people give a shit about it because we got to think about this, right? Okay, a nice, good prairie boy from Saskatoon.
You sound like
country music fan. Okay, he played for the Saskatoon Blades, the University of Saskatchewan in McGill. He played under Dave King in Saskatchewan. He had got a try with the Canucks in 146 games in McGill. Mike Babcock had 107 points, 301 penalty minutes.
PR guy?
301 penalty minutes. So he didn't mind getting a little gritty in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's the second highest scoring defenseman in McGill history to this day. He was a two-time All-Star. He's the captain of the team. He was a team MVP. He has an honorary Doctor of Laws from the University of Saskatchewan. He's got postgraduate. He's done postgraduate studies in sports psychology. Guy knows a little bit of what he's doing. Okay. Now, as a coach, he led Lethbridge Pronghorns to the CIS title. A small school in Lethbridge won a national title. Spokane Chiefs of the WHL got them to the Memorial Cup. In the AHL, Cincinnati Ducks set a franchise record with 41 wins. Went on to coach the Anaheim Ducks to the Stanley Cup final. Led Canada to a world junior gold medal in 1997. Billy, wake up! This is important stuff. Won a gold medal for Canada, the 2004 World Hockey Championships. Won Olympic gold in 2010, 2004. Went to the Stanley Cup and won the Stanley Cup with the Red Wings. And one of like a handful of coaches to win 700 games in the NHL.
Can I ask you a question before you continue?
His record with the Leafs: 173, 123, and 14. Wife, 3 kids, a man with good character.
Yeah.
And
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Was he the best man at your wedding?
No.
No?
But here's what we don't want to do. We don't want to slander this guy's character, and because what we want to do is
tell the truth. Man.
You can call Mike Babcock. You can define his coaching any way you want, right? And you do. But as far as a guy with he's a stellar citizen, a stellar Canadian, a great guy, family man, and basically a good prairie boy. And I don't think
buy you a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but I don't.
Lot, man. Your job is to win hockey games and get the Leafs to the next level. That's your job. We don't give a really, man. We're not here to question Mike's what Mike's done for Mike's character or what have you. Matter of fact, he's the pilot of a ship that's sinking. That's the bottom line. And if you ask me, and again, I don't know. There comes a point in time where if you continue to listen to the Greek, perhaps there's a sliver, an iota, I don't know which adjective you prefer, that you might realize that the Greek knows what he's talking about. I told you ahead of time, I've been telling you for the better part of a year, I don't know, that the pilot needs to go. Period. He needs to go. And if you haven't seen, Tilley, that this club, which you called, and I was waiting when I was doing this, you know what I was waiting for? I was waiting for you to make the comparison to the mid-'80s Oilers again. I wanted a good laugh.
I got one. I got one.
Yeah,
I got one.
Yeah, I know the Hartford Whalers. I know that.
That
11-0 game. Listen, the point
the Oilers of 83-84. Pretty good hockey team, or yes or no?
Yeah, pretty good hockey team.
They lost 5 in a row at one point, including 11-0 to the Hartford Whalers.
But here's what you don't see, Tilley. Here's what, and again, you're blinded to see. But the Greek, again, man, he's not blind. He sees things very clearly nowadays. Very clearly I see things. And here's what my eyes tell me from my years of knowledge, that the team has given up on the coach. They're not playing for the coach. They're not. You can say something's amiss in Leafland. Now, does it fall exclusively on Babcock's head? Absolutely not. When an organization suffers, it's a share of blame from Shanahan to Dubas to the players to Babcock. Any organization worth its salt, and we'll get to the Raptors later. I'll throw another term at you. I didn't go to college, but wait a minute, man. I'll tell you about the School of Hard Knocks, what they say. That you need a seamless transition between upper management, general manager, players, performance. Pay attention. Forget the phone. When you have and I'll make the comparison again. When you have the Leaf organization.
Carol says nice jersey.
I love you, Carol. Yeah. When you take the Leaf organization, all right? Just, let's call it down the middle for once, man. Get your Leaf underwear off. Listen, there's something amiss. Would you say? To what degree we don't know. Between Dubas and Babcock. Right? It's a little off. Possibly.
It doesn't have to be on. Okay.
It doesn't have to be. Hold on. Let me finish my point.
The coach is the GM.
Hey, keep it down over there. We're live. So there's something amiss there, and then you get from Babcock to the players, right? There's something amiss there.
Maybe.
Listen. There's no maybes. He doesn't go to Arizona for fun just to get a suntan. All right. Believe me. So the point of the matter is,
it could possibly be, Billy, and here's a distinct possibility. That this team has undergone a lot of changes. They went through a lot of changes. They brought in Barry, they brought in Ceci. Barry is still trying to find his way. Is not the kind of defenseman they expected him to have. They missed Hyman, and they missed Tavares for a considerable amount of time. They missed Dermott for the first 20 games or whatever. These now they're starting to get their and then they lose Marner.
Hold on.
All right?
Okay, so
now
they've
got a whole bunch of changes, a whole bunch of things happening.
What
you want to do is
getting tired.
Billy.
I'm getting tired.
Here's what you want to do.
Getting tired. Fans are getting tired.
In November, they're getting tired, but they're getting tired too soon. Okay, because you haven't. We don't know where this team is going to be in April. You can't judge it. We're a month and a half into the season, buddy.
All right.
This is November.
So
beginning of October.
You know what? The Greeks come prepared.
They're at 500.
Hold on.
Okay, prepared.
Prepared. So you say we should not.
That's a nice change. The hell, prepared.
You say we should not judge in incremental segments. We should take the bigger picture. Here's the bigger picture, Tilley. Let me give you the bigger picture. Over the last, would you say 75 games is a pretty accurate assessment of where you are as a club and what your trajectory is like? Would you say that's accurate?
75 games?
Yes. Would you say that's accurate?
75 games since when?
I'm talking. Would you say a 75-game period to see where the club is going is an accurate assessment of the quality of the club?
With the same club for 75 games?
Let me explain to you.
So tell me how that happened.
Since December 4th of last year, which coincidentally is, or not coincidentally, marks the signing of your buddy William Leonardo. You know what their record is from that day to this day? You know what their record is? This juggernaut,
okay,
35 wins, 31 losses, 11 in overtime. That's 35 and 31. That's a 500 team. That's over an 80-game stretch, and that's under the tutelage of Mike Babcock, and that's under the tutelage of all these beautiful, dynamic players you keep touting. It's a 500 team. You know what else I'm going to tell you, Joe, because you can't tell it like it is, and I can? You know who's last in the league in goals against this year? Well, I don't know. It's your Toronto Maple Leafs. You want me to tell you another thing, Joe? Hold on. Do you know who's last in penalty killing? Come on, tell me. Take a guess. Take a guess.
Yeah, but Billy, again.
No, but there's no but Billy.
This is a team.
This is all. Stop. This is all of this. What I've the aforementioned. Don't make me yell, Joe.
This is a team in transition.
Stop cutting me off. I want to give him a couple words.
Okay. This pause, this brief pause, will allow Billy to get a couple of words.
Listen, when you talk about, especially. Jeez, I can't work around here, man.
You're getting a couple words in. Go ahead.
Listen. When you take a look at a team's defensive metrics, it's a big word, eh? And you realize that they're in the bottom tier of the National Hockey League with upper-level talent. I agree. And they're in the bottom.
Fluctuating.
No. They're in the bottom tier. They're in the bottom tier of areas in the game that directly point towards the coach and the coaching staff. Defensive hockey, you don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't need to have all kinds of things. All you need for a defensive hockey and an upper level penalty kill, you know what you need, Tilley, man? Plain and simple, man. You don't need skill. You need heart. You need people and players that'll go through the wall for a coach. Make the sacrifices necessary to win. And I'm telling you, Tilley, that the minute, and I don't know, am I right or wrong? You tell me, people out there. The minute he benched Spezza, first game of the year, 50 family members, second biggest game of the kid's life. The other 20 guys in that room.
Like, how many times has he played in Toronto?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Is his job
to be beholden to Jason Spezza?
You lost
or
the
is
room,
his job
Tilley.
to be?
I told you,
he
you
didn't
lost
lose the room.
No, he didn't lose the room. I told you that night he lost his room, and I'm going to tell you why. Here's the deal. Spezza, you said, remember, and it's not about Spezza, it's just about the way he treats players, man. And they're getting sick and tired of him, and they're revolting against him, and they're not playing for him. It's plain as day. It's plain as day. You're maybe the last person on this ship that sees it.
He's making $6 million a year.
It doesn't matter what
he's going to keep him around. They're not just going to dump him. And what are you going to do? Bring in Sheldon Keefe, who hasn't coached an NHL game in his life?
Just like you brought Nick Nurse, man, and you raised a banner. But that's besides the point. Let me tell you something.
Who had been in the NBA as an assistant for a number of years.
Come on, man. You know what? I don't know.
Sheldon's never been in the NHL.
All I hear, man, coming from your lips, with all due respect,
he could be a good coach.
You know how much I love you. You know how much I care about you. I care about you a whole lot, more than you even know. But when I'm listening to you, you know what this conversation amounts to coming from your direction? Somewhere between snivel and drivel, man. You don't understand what you're talking about. You're not seeing the things correctly. You're not seeing things fairly. And you're doing a disservice not only to the audience, to the Greek, and not believing in what the Greek's telling you, number one, but you're also not seeing, you told me 2 weeks ago Spezza played in Philadelphia, right? Did you tell me? And you said, Spezza was inspired. He was the best guy on the ice. Did those words come out of your mouth, yes or no?
He played an inspired game.
On
that night, he was probably the best.
Was it the best player on the ice?
Probably was.
All right. Do you know where he spent the next 3 days? Go ahead, Joe Tilley.
On the bench.
In the press box.
Yeah.
So he was the most inspired guy on the ice, the best player.
Okay.
And
so
Mr. Babcock, in all his infinite wisdom, sits him in the box for 3 more days.
I know, but okay,
yeah.
okay, but like we went through.
You're wrong, pal.
We just talked about Mike Babcock's career record.
What have you done for me lately?
Okay, well, listen, we talked about the fact that he's got he's done post-study graduate studies in sports psychology.
Oh, Jesus,
he is when Canada was choosing Olympic team in 2010 and 2014, the top minds in Hockey Canada put their heads together and they chose one Mike Babcock to coach the team.
Great,
and here's Billy sitting on his couch at home saying, "I can do better than Mike Babcock.
That's great.
I know what these players are thinking. I know that they're retaliating against. I know he's lost the room. I can tell you that.
So
how
do you take a team that's got upper level talent? No. How do you take a team that, by your estimation, and I'm inclined to agree,
Right.
periodically. You make sense once every 15 sentences. How can you suggest an upper-level talent, which you've said on many occasions, and as I said again, I'm inclined to agree. How can you suggest that with a average performance?
Because it takes a while for a team to gel. It takes a while when you bring in new players, like you bring in guys like Cece, and you bring in guys like Barry, and you bring in guys like Spezza, and you bring in guys like Kerfoot, and it takes a while for this team to gel as a team. Then you remember that you're missing Hyman and Dermott from the beginning of the season. You lose Tavares for a considerable period.
How did Pittsburgh do without Letang Crosby?
Now you lose arguably your second best player to an injury for a month. Now you got to deal through that. You got to work through that.
How many guys did Boston have out when they beat the Leafs? Regulars. 7?
How many of their big guns?
Okay. Well,
how many?
You're right.
Chara, Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, Krug, all there. All right. Take away much more from that team. Take away Marchand from that.
All right. Take away Sidney Crosby. Take away Sidney Crosby. Hold on, pal.
Take away
Sidney Crosby, Chris Letang, and your goalie Murray. Line up about 15 guys that play AHL. You can't. You're a sports guy. Can you name me 10, 12 guys on the Penguins?
Everybody.
Name me 12.
This is hockey.
6-1.
One night.
6-1. One night.
11-0. Hartford Whalers beat the Edmonton Oilers. 11-0. And the year
they given up on your team, buddy.
The Cup is 83. Did they give up on Sather?
You're the last to see.
They lost 5 in a row.
You're the last to see, man.
Was Sather show in the door?
You're the
they
last.
Lost 5 in a row. 11-0 in Hartford to the Whalers, a mediocre team at best.
You're the
one
last
of the best teams we've
Joe,
ever seen.
Unfortunately, you're the last to see.
Anybody can beat any team on it, especially in today's age where you've got a salary cap era. Anybody could beat anybody on any given night.
Especially when a team's quit on you, man. Yeah, you don't see it, Tilley.
Listen,
they haven't?
As I mentioned last week and the week before, you give this team until January. You see what's happening. You give Marner a chance to get back in the lineup. You see where you're at in January because you don't make a move in November, Bill. I'm sorry.
What's my football record? What's my football record?
Who cares? What does that got to do with it? What does that got to do with the Leafs?
I'll tell you what it's got to do with it. You know what it is? Projection. You see things before they happen. And if you can't see the firing line, pal, the firing line...
We got Kreskin over here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what I do. That's why I'm better than all your contemporaries. That's why I'm better than any guy. You sit here, right? You sit here. You bring me any of these... you bring me McCowans. You bring me anybody else and you put them in the seat. You know what? The Greek doesn't take a back seat to any of them because I see the future in a way that a way that none of these guys see. And
ego control.
What ego control? It's the truth, baby. And I told you a year ago that the ship is sinking. And you know what? That the disconnect between Babcock and his players is obvious. And at some point in time, you need a general that the players will play for, Billy, and they're not playing for this guy.
From your seat and on the couch, it's apparent to you that Mike Babcock has lost the room.
Not only
that, but you're so invested in that opinion.
I'm not invested. It's just the way it is.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to go in a 5 or 6 game winning streak, and they're going to start playing well, and you're going to see this team coming. Well, when Marner gets back, it will be very helpful.
Your excuse after excuse.
Well, no, but they're very helpful when Martin gets back because it's throwing the team for a whack. It really is.
You know what threw the team for a whack? Signing your buddy Willie for $7 million a year that hasn't laid a body on somebody.
And that's the thing too. If Willie ends up with 40 goals this season, which could happen.
This is not a comedy, man. This is a serious show, bro.
Willie, what are you going to say because you're going to have to answer to that later on this season. When William Nylander has a type of career that matches the kind of salary he has, because you're so opposed to him, you're so against him, and you've got such an investment in dumping on him that when the real roles switch and William Nylander starts to play the way he can because he's great offensive talent. When he starts to play the way he can, you won't be able to accept it. You'll still want to run him out of town. And there's other people who are like you, unfortunately.
You think the Greek fell off a turnip truck, Tilley? You think that I would invest this much time and effort into telling you the deficiencies of a player? Because I know who he is, and it ain't changing, baby. You can't make DNA, baby. You can't bring heart.
So you're telling me that this guy can't be a 40-goal scorer?
You know what? Not in your lifetime, pal. That's the bottom line.
2 years in a row, he's been the MVP
of
the World Hockey Championships.
Really?
So the best players that are not in the playoffs.
So what's he do there that he doesn't do there?
Billy, listen to me. They go to Europe and they play in the World Championships, and William Nylander has won the MVP in that tournament twice.
So, in other words, that William.
So you're telling me this guy has no skill. That's what you're saying. You're telling me he can't score 40 goals. That's what you're telling me.
You're telling me William.
I'm saying support this guy. Get up this position where you have to dump on him. Get up this position where you have to dump on Babcock. Just do this. Just do this. Just say, is it
Watch
possible?
Your mic. It's going to drop. Don't get too emotional.
Is it possible?
Your blood pressure at your age.
Is it possible? Is it possible?
Easy.
Is it possible, Billy? Is this? Imagine this. Is it possible that Nylander can get his career going in Toronto and become a 40-goal man? Is it possible that Mike Babcock can get control of this club when everybody's healthy, they're firing on all cylinders, when he finally knows what he has, when the players start doing their job en masse? Is it not possible that this team can turn this around and be a legitimate Stanley Cup contender? Just put that in your imagination.
To the end of the road, still he can't let go.
Okay, it's time now to introduce our sponsors. We got Toyota George, Stouffville Toyota, dealership built with green practices in mind. Getting there starts here. Book a test drive today, 905-642-6688, StouffvilleToyota.com. George Sturgaloo, Stouffville Toyota. He's our man.
Yeah.
All right, our buddy Aldo at Remax Crossroads for all your real estate needs. Call 416-GET-ALDO or get a getaldo.com. Aldo's selling houses, selling condos. He's listing them. Go, just see Aldo, man. He's gonna hook you up. Nexus Holidays, call 416-800-80501. Go to nexusholidays.ca today for your next spectacular Asian, European, or African
Can
vacation.
I call him?
Call him.
Can I call him without cash?
No, you gotta have cash, buddy. We're going to Asia on Thursday, by the way.
We're gonna have a good time, eh?
Claude Fagel will be sitting in the seat next.
Oh yeah? Come on, Mr. Claude. Come on, man. The seat's warm, baby. Bring it on. Hope you weren't ducking the Greek today, man. You got the Randy Johnson flu out there, man. See you next week over here, Claude.
All right. Desjardins Insurance, Dina Constantinou, 416-792-8997, DinaConst.com. Home, auto, life. Call Dina today. Billy did.
3 and 6, baby.
All right. 3 and 6.
Is it 3 and 6? What is that?
No,
you're like
no,
this, eh? I seen you in that little
10.
number you got,
It's 10 and 2.
Yeah.
10 and 2.
I see in that little number. You're like this, man. Who are you kidding?
What is
man?
it? 3 and 10?
What's that?
3 and 10. 10 and 2. Billy's got the elbow at the window.
What's 3 and 6, man? How would I be? Like a little, like this, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So anyway, let's move on to the Raptors.
Look at the peanut gallery, eh? Tilley, you brought the peanut gallery here today to support you, eh? You wily veteran, eh? You need all the help you can get against me, eh?
Forget whose gallery you're in, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Mario Villela says Leafs have 5 elite players: Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, Anderson. Don't forget Riley. The rest of the team average to below average. Not a good recipe for a 100-point season. Scratching to make the playoffs. Bottom 6 to 4s. Fading away in scoring. Yeah, he's right. The bottom 6 to 4s have faded away, and that's made a big difference for the team. And Kerfoot's injury doesn't help at all.
What's faded away is the heart, the desire, and the will to compete for your general. But again, we're done with that. I just wanted to slide that.
Okay, Zeus says Babcock's ego is clouding his judgment. He clearly doesn't know how to coach a young bunch of players in this day and age. And again, like Billy, Zeus, you're looking through your own rose-colored glasses. And you got to give these guys till January. I'm telling you. There you go. Raptors.
Hold on. Before we move forward, what about the Raptors? Are you, when you go away, there's a possibility that when you get back, you know what?
Mike
Babcock might be on the other plane going this way. Well, so I want you to get your mea culpa. You know the McLean mea culpa?
Yeah.
When he, we'll get to that later, right? When you said, when you come on here and Babcock's out the door and Keefe takes this team where you always wanted to take them, I want you to look in that camera, right, and say, you know what,
Billy, I've never ever said that Sheldon Keefe could not do it. I'm just saying you're risking a lot putting a guy who's never coached in the NHL in there.
Big risk,
it's a big risk.
You took a risk on the blue chipper and now he's blowing up like he's blowing up like nothing.
I couldn't fit your head through the door, man. Right? It's ridiculous. Okay, our Raptors are now coming off that 3-2 road trip. Lowry is back soon. Ibaka is still a couple of weeks away. Home to the Charlotte Hornets tonight. Then the Magic on Wednesday. For the next 5 at home against some very beatable opposition. The Raptors, I thought that 3-2 road trip could have maybe been 4-1 if they played really well against the Clippers, maybe 5-0. I like the way the team's looking, and they're in great shape. They've got some very beatable games coming up. And if you look at before they went on that road trip, you're thinking, the Raptors might be lucky to win 2 games there.
You know why I like this? You know why I like this Raptor segment when we do it? Because our blood pressure both gets to like a similar position. We're on the same page, man, and it's a real pleasure. Here's the deal, Tilley. That when we talk about Raptor basketball, as we've suggested on many occasions, there's not a bigger joy for a sports fanatic of any type and any kind, any allegiance, to watch a team that gives you everything they got, that busts their hump, play in, play out. It's also enjoyable to see a team that plays all sides of the ball, a team that rebounds a basketball, a team that's got shot blockers, a team that can shoot threes, a team that likes each other, a coach that's innovative. When you have all the elements covered, Tilley, you know what happens? You put your hat in the ring, you know for what? Championship. That's how championship clubs are made.
And you know what? You're right. I mean, listen. Everything that our general manager has done, president has done. Masai. Everything Masai has done is worked out extremely well.
Here's what I like.
But I also think that so Masai deserves the utmost.
You think Masai? Would you hire Masai to run the Leafs?
Yeah.
Just his brain alone,
100%.
Right? Absolutely.
He's a sharp guy. He's innovative. He's not afraid to take a chance. He took the chance on Kawhi. He took the chance on Nurse. He's done a lot of things like that. And he's also, the Kawhi factor on this team, I think, is bigger than a lot of people probably even have been able to fathom. Because Kawhi, when he came here, he showed a lot of those young kids what it took to win, what it took to I mean, the Kawhi factor was huge. And even though he's gone, I think some of Kawhi has rubbed off in this team. The way they're playing defensively, the way they're committing to this, everybody's committing, to the game, to themselves. It's a great thing. And I think that, again, kudos goes to Masai Ujiri for bringing these guys in. And bringing Kawhi in and taking that chance, even though he knew that Kawhi probably was gone after the first year.
That's the interesting thing that you've delivered, and deservedly so. Kudos for the philosophy, for the risk-taking, for everything that's brought us a championship to Canada, to Toronto. But on the other end of town, you want to stand pat. I don't get you, man. I don't get you. You've seen, and sometimes, like, I wonder, you're sleeping, you just want to argue.
It's a different game.
You know what?
It's a different game.
Listen, forget the game, Tilley. Forget the game. Organization, sport, organization, risk, all those things is not a different game, my man. It's all in the ability for a guy like, again, Masai. Masai sees a club. So when you're looking at your club, right, with DeMar, God love him, and that outfit that got swept continuously in the playoffs, Coach of the Year, Casey, it was a pretty good club. It was a pretty good club.
But I also think that if you had kept Dwayne Casey and brought in Kawhi, you might have had the same result.
He might have had the same result, but we'll never know, right? The result is the banner hanging at the ACC. So what I'm trying to get at, if that's the case, it takes big risk to get rid of a guy that, number one, that loved his city, Raptor for life, was hurt to leave. Yeah. Right?
He's from Southern Cal.
So what that shows is Masai, you see him with the smiles, and he's a gentleman. I love him to death. And I'll tell you why, because also he's a winner, he's ruthless. Coach of the Year, he looks at his roster and he says, Coach of the Year, man, sorry, you got to go. I can't win with you. DeMar, man, you got swept 2 times. You know what?
5-time All-Star.
I can't win with you. And you know what? Until Dubas looks at Babcock and he says, you know what, Mike, man, I love you to death. Where'd he go to school? He went everywhere, willy-nilly, right? But you know what, Mike, man, here's the problem, buddy. I just can't win with you, man. See you later.
Okay, what if Scotty Bowman's general manager had said that? What if Joel Quenneville's general manager said that? Because he had a couple of rough years there. You can go on and on and on.
We're talking about
Billy. Again, let's wait until January, see what happens.
All right, let's switch gears because we got a lot of Raptor fans here too, right?
Yeah.
You always want to talk about hockey. Let's talk about basketball.
Let's talk about Jamal Murray, the kid from Kitchener, who had 39 points.
Jamal Murray's a nice player. Yeah. Jamal Murray is a.
And that's another thing about Toronto. When you're talking about DeMar DeRozan wanting to stay here, I mean, kudos for the city of Toronto. kudos for Southern Ontario. Kudos for being who we are, being the welcoming place that we are. That making
it's not about welcoming.
Oh yes, it
you know
is.
what it
has
is?
There's a lot of reasons that DeMar DeRozan want to stay in Toronto.
I'll tell you, yeah, no doubt about it. But you know what welcoming is,
and not just live here part time.
There's a lot of variables, Tilley, and you know what the welcoming is. Vince Carter and the
well, that got it started. That got it
started. Every kid that you see nowadays. Every kid that you see in the NBAs nowadays fell in love with the game of basketball through one Vince Carter.
John Bitto got it started, if you want to go back that far.
Yeah, all right. Like, again,
he had a dream to bring in the NBA franchise, and look what's happened, man.
And again, we as sports fans, we just enjoy a product that gives you maximum effort, and then the results take care of themselves.
Right.
Results take care of themselves, and again, I'm more inclined to believe. To take your position that the Raptors got a shot to represent the East this year. They got a shot. Boston's come out hot. Miami, I'm very surprised with Miami. Miami's second in the conference, 9-3, something like this. So to me, it's Toronto's in with a shot. Got 5 teams at the top and about 10 in the bottom that got no shot, right? Especially Brooklyn too this year without Durant. Kyrie Irving's not enough. Brooklyn maybe next year's a threat. So. You never know.
Celtics, they got their 10-game win streak set by the Kings of all teams.
And the Celtics, and again, it's interesting to see because the Celtics have gone you talk about overhaul in terms of personnel, right? Got rid of Kyrie Irving, brought in Kemba Walker, and they got, but they're not as deep as they were historically. They got 4 guys that logged the majority of the minutes. They lost Horford. We'll see how that shakes out later in the year. But again, there's no real powerhouse in the East other than my man Giannis with the Bucks.
We're going to talk about the fact that Jonas Valanciunas and DeLon Wright and C.J. Miles do not get rings.
What's your take?
I mean,
don't stay on the fence.
Okay, all right. So my feeling about this one is they should get rings. Why not?
Shit, I wanted to say the same thing. Now I've got to argue with you.
No, but no.
No, they shouldn't.
JV.
No, what do you insane? Why should?
No, I mean, listen, they weren't there for the championship run, for the playoff run, but you know what? They're all good soldiers, especially JV. I mean, JV is like he's another guy who didn't want to leave Toronto. He's another guy who was really happy here, and played his heart out for the team when he was here. I would give JV a ring.
Here's what I'm thinking about when it comes to this.
And DeLon Wright and C.J. Miles, I say why not?
Yeah, here's what I was thinking about. What's our super fans name? Gonna forget. God bless him. Not Lloyd. Who cares? Nav.
Oh, Nav Badia. Oh, yeah.
So
okay, yeah,
I'm thinking now, man, as I'm trying to see who deserves a ring, man. And Nav, God bless him.
He got one.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So if you give the super fan a ring, man, like God bless him, he's at every game waving and going crazy. And if you ever heard him talk, he's a real gentleman too, man.
Yeah.
And if he ever wants to come on the show, man, we got a seat for you. I'll even shoot Tilley out, be me and you. Anyways, if we give this guy a ring, right? If the Raptors give this guy a ring, you got to give a ring to JV. You got to, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, it seems like, what's the problem? What is the big deal about? Why wouldn't JV get a ring? I mean, other than the fact that he wasn't in that part of that run, yeah. But you know what? The guy, I still think of JV as a Raptor. I mean,
how about a compromise? Maybe give him a ring and just take out a few diamonds. Like
there you go.
A couple carats out there.
So instead of a $12,000 ring,
it's like about 70, right?
Yeah.
And put a few zirconias in there, hand it to him, and say, "Go get them, man." Right? You can always. We're looking for middle ground here, right?
We're done with that. Right? We're done with that. Okay, so let's move on to the. We were at the fights on. On Saturday night.
Brandon, eh?
Brandon, baby.
Oh, what a shot he! What a shot he landed.
That right hand that Cook landed on the kid from Mexico. Oh my God, that was devastating.
Yeah?
And this kid. He went the distance with Lafreniere in Montreal, and Lafreniere is considered one of the top young fighters in the country. So the fact that he went the distance in Brandon, I'm telling you, he looked like a guy who was so focused and so ready. It was just you'd never known he'd been off 14 months because it was like nothing but business in there.
No, and he's a buddy of mine, so got to share a little bit both in Brandon, both in terms of his personal story and some of the stuff. So he does love the guy to death, man. He's good at what he does, and he's good in the way he does it. He's an inspiration to me. He's an inspiration to a lot of kids that like the fight game. Showed me a picture of him about a year ago when he was out with a shoulder injury. And I'm pulling in my stomach when I do this. He was about 210 pounds, man. And you know what kind of work that is, man.
Yeah.
So
he fights at 154.
And you know how he is, chiseled, man. You almost looked as good as the Greek in that ring, man.
You know, when I saw those abs, I turned to my wife and said, "What do those remind you of, those abs?"
She didn't look at. She didn't say nothing about you, Did you have those at any time?
Oh yeah, you kidding me? Of course it, man.
You did?
You got paid. I fought 147 pounds.
But you got pictures? You got proof, or you just
when I was cut, I was cut.
When you were cut, you were cut,
There's pictures. I'm not going to bring my pictures. Billy,
no, why not, man?
I'm not going to go that route.
You're a humble individual, aren't you? That's why we love you.
That's not what.
That's why we love you.
Another couple of kids. Oh, Sukhdeep Singh, who was fought for his first title. He was impressive as well. I mean, another first-round knockout. I mean, the Canadian kids did really well in this show.
I would say, again, the competition, obviously, man, and they'll tell you this, it was not the stiffest. You know, it was a nice show, nice presentation. Sat with Chevalo there. Had a nice evening. You know, I had a chance to spend a little time with Matty Jo, her husband, Penny Claire. With a great atmosphere, great time. You know. Thanks again for having me out there. It was really my pleasure, you know. And now that I know about this kind of game, then the next time, man, I might just go behind your back, you know. Right? I had a really good time.
I don't care. You're hooked up with Ty now. You're good.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was a great evening, and Canada's on the map when it comes to boxing, man. We got our buddy. It's
making a comeback in Ontario. It really is. It's you know, for many years the Boxing Commission in Ontario made it just virtually impossible to put a fight card together. Now they're helping the fighters come along. We got a really great building, growing fight game. You know, there's Cody Crowley from up in Peterborough, another undefeated fighter. Kevin Hickson. There's Ryan Rizicki. There's a whole whack of
I have some guys calling for Crowley Cook. Can you see Crowley and Cook?
I could see that. But you know, what I want to see is both these guys to have a title. Right, both these guys have a title, and then have that fight, you know, at the Scotiabank Arena. Now we're talking, you know, then we're talking some big. But Brandon, you know, he's already fought for 2 world titles. Both times he had to go into somebody else's backyard. So it'd be nice if he got a chance to fight for a title, you know, on the home floor, in the home ring.
Yeah.
So just Dubs O'Reilly, the kid from Hamilton, he improved to 16-0. Ryan Young, Brock Stumpf, Jordan McHugh, Mark Smither, Mapanda Kaluga, all these guys, great group of young fighters, most of them undefeated, and the future boxing in Ontario looks really bright. How about our buddy Mark Simmons in the refereeing? Donovan Bush, taking control of the ring, man. These guys take control of the ring. These are 2 of the top up-and-coming refs in the business as well.
How old Simmons?
Simmons, I'd say Mark's about early 30s.
Early 30s,
Let's see, he was when I was.
He looks like he could still throw him a little bit. He's in good shape.
He was 12 years old when I was when I went to the Boxing Hall of Fame in 1980. Oh no, he might be late. He may be mid 30s, mid to late 30s.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And look who joined us.
Who's that?
Look at this, man. That sniveling scoundrel. We'll get to him later. Marty Roberts, man. I got a big problem with this guy. You know, I'm thinking about, as you know, Tilley, I'm the head coach and manager of the East Shore
Bulldogs,
right?
Yeah, baby.
And I'm thinking about, at this point in time, I'm having discussions with some of my other staff about releasing Roberts, I'm thinking about giving him the pig slip, sending him over to Thornhill or something. We'll get to it later, man. Terrible. That Roberts is terrible.
Okay, we're going to move on. So we're going to talk about the CFL. We had the Ticats. They were really impressive. The Hamilton Ticats destroying Edmonton 38-16. Brandon Banks, this guy is unbelievable. This guy can play anywhere. I mean, he's
Which is
incredible.
unfortunate because probably Ticat fans are going to lose him to the NFL at some point down the road.
I can't see how he doesn't end up in the NFL, but he had an outstanding game. Evans, the quarterback, he had 386 yards for that touchdown pass to Banks. They just destroyed Edmonton 38-16. Now this is the Ticats are trying to win their first Grey Cup 20 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. Haven't even been to the Grey Cup in 5 years, but they're back, and I really think that they have to be the favorite to win it. I mean, Winnipeg was, in my opinion, is kind of lucky to get by Calgary.
Hold on, lucky. That defense, that defense in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter closed the door. They shut them down. You know when you're 3rd and 1, man, with a 1 yard off the line of scrimmage.
This game
and that goal line stand against Saskatchewan. You know what? O'Shea's got those guys going. O'Shea going back in against his former Ticats is going to make for a good battle. Again, that Winnipeg defense is nothing to sneeze at. All the final sequence of plays within the last minute and a half. They they were on the DBs were on the receivers like stink, didn't give a minute to breathe. And when you have 1 yard off the line of scrimmage and you hold the team down and you hold them out of the end zone, man, that's a testament to a front four that is going to give Hamilton all they can handle. It's not going to be as easy as you think.
And Zach Calaros too.
Well, without a doubt. So there's a lot of
So that'll be an interesting matchup. It's going to be a really good Grey Cup game. But you have to
and you know what the truth is
with their weapons, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? Their defense is nothing to sneeze at either. They're solid defense.
And you know what? Both those teams can beat Marty's Redskins.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
No
question.
No question about it.
15-3 now on the
year.
16-3 on the year.
With about 20 of their guys on the All-Star squad.
Yeah. That's a good squad. Okay, so now we switch gears to the NFL.
Oh yeah, baby.
Billy the Greek.
Yeah,
okay,
baby.
all right.
How's the hair?
Billy's
Dom,
how's the hair? How's the hair look? Looks really good, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, so the Greek's going to be gloating a little bit this week. Okay,
not even.
We'll tell you what his picks were. He picked the Browns, check. Bills, check. Falcons, check. Washington, ooh. And Cowboys, check. The only one you got wrong was Washington.
What's our record on the year? Tell the people.
I don't know. It's 40-something. And
tell the people.
I don't know. It's a 40-something. I can't remember that. You keep track of that stuff. I don't.
Let me ask you a question.
That's your job.
Let me ask you a question. Serious question. You used to do a Sweet Six, right? You used to do football. You used to do football.
The Swiss Six.
How long you been in the
Swiss Super Six?
How long you been in the broadcast industry? Since probably the advent of color TV or thereabouts, right?
36 years.
About that. Color
37
TV.
years.
In your lifetime, being around the game, being around prognosticators and handicappers, and you be honest, in your lifetime, have you ever seen anybody better than the Greek? Go ahead, tell the audience. Go ahead.
Let me put it this way to you, okay? I've never seen anybody have the kind of year the Greek is having. I'll be honest with that. The kind of year the Greek is having, because you know, it's like anything. You have some good weeks, you have some bad weeks. You can't be perfect all the time, but you know, you've done an amazing job.
That's 12 weeks, pal.
You've done an amazing job. You're well over the halfway mark in your what is your record? Tell your record. You see,
Don, let me. I don't really think about my record too much. You know,
I'm
a pretty
pretty
humble guy.
Yeah. I think people don't see that.
At 40 wins.
Okay, 40 wins.
40 wins. 23 losses. So 40 and 23, and that's against the spread.
And a couple pushes, I guess.
That's against the spread. So what the Greek really enjoys about his record, here's what I'm going to tell you, Tilley, and listen closely. This is for the people out there. That in this industry, number one, once somebody establishes himself, like anybody can be a flash in the pan, but when you're doing it for the better part of 4 months, week in, week out, man, and you're better than them all, they start to recognize, they start to notice. Greek's starting to get phone calls at about 7:30 last night. I got a call. Honest to God, I got a call from California. I got one from Colorado on Messenger.
Did you make that call? Pretend you're from California?
No. I got guys from overseas call me at 7:30, 7:45 saying I'm walking my dog. You know, just
you gave him the Rams. You gave him the Rams.
Give him the Rams, but that's not even the point. What I'm trying to get at is the majority of people that got a brain power like this, right?
Yeah.
Charge money.
There's a lot of brain in there.
Well, you tell me it's by accident, man. What do you think? It's just good looks? Listen to me. You keep it down. I'm talking. So listen to me.
It's the ego? Is that what
no, it's not the ego either. It's the truth, man. When I came here, I told you I'm better than them all.
Just state the facts. Just state the facts.
When I started this, what I tell you? What I tell you?
It's not false ego when you're stating the facts, right?
All right. So here's the deal. Right? Here's what I'm most proud of. That a lot of people that do this for a living, not do this necessarily, but give out picks. You know what they do, Tilley? They charge for picks. Anybody that's 40-23 is going to charge for picks. Because the Greeks never taken 1 penny, will never charge. And you know, furthermore, if you followed me from the beginning of the year till now, you would have a lot more wisdom, number one, and you'd have 48 times the money in your pocket. Just by listening to me, you'd have 48 times more money in the pocket. But here's really what I want to get at, and then we'll get to the NFL. The Greeks are mad at people. I told you this, and I stand by my word. Anybody that calls me, if you guys want to call, if you guys want to reach out, if you're curious, you want to know what I think, if you believe in me like I want to believe in you, call me on Messenger. Leave me a message, man. Call me directly. California, Toronto, Scarborough. Greek, who do you like in hockey? Who do you like in the NBA? What's going to happen here? Call me. I'll pick up the phone no matter what, whether or not it's just the two of us, eh?
Yep.
And we're doing this, or we blow up and we're somewhere on, you know what? Go and try to call Sixero. Go and try to call McCall. Go and try to call McCall. Go and try to call any of these guys. You know when they'll call you back? In 2 weeks, they'll call you back. No matter who calls me today or 10 years from now, or 10 days from now, whoever calls me, you know what? I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to answer because I'm a man that people, I love all the people. I was sitting in that bar stool over there, Tilley. You talked about universities and this, that. I went to the school of hard knocks, pal, eh? I went to the school of hard knocks for the people. You know how many people are out there that sit in sports bars and talk this, that? I got a chance. I was the chosen one to come and represent them. Anything you guys want, I'm here. You want to ask? Just pick up the phone. What do you want to talk about?
I'm going to bring my hand.
And around here, just get this straight. When it comes to the NFL, when it comes to the NFL, I'm Boss Hog, eh?
Boss Hog, baby.
All right, Roscoe Pico, okay. What do you want to talk about?
All right, so I want to talk about Lamar Jackson. Holy crap, what the hell? He's the first quarterback in NFL history to rush for 60 yards or more in 7 straight games. The Ravens are the first team since Washington when they won the Super Bowl with Joe Theismann and John Riggins and all those guys to win 3 more games, at least 3 games by 34 points. These guys are incredible. Who saw this coming?
I didn't. I'm
just saying, other than the Greek.
I didn't see this one coming. Called down the middle. Actually, you know what? Yeah. To tell you the truth, Lamar Jackson, especially at the beginning of the year, is a very polarizing individual, just in his style of play. The Greek, from where I sit, I can never trust a running QB in the league because what I've seen in my history from Kaepernicks to RG3s is if you run the ball 20 times, if you run the ball 20 times a game, I don't trust running quarterbacks in terms of their health.
He's revolutionizing.
And you know what?
Baby.
And you know what? At this point in time, you know what? They beat everybody inside. I might be wrong, but Baltimore looks good.
They do look good. They look good. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so 10 minutes. So let's get into
let's go down the board. I got a quick.
Who's your pick tonight?
Who's my pick tonight?
Yeah, who's your
I'm
pick?
going to think about it, man. I'm not sure yet. The Greek hasn't decided. He goes one thought at a time. He doesn't look too far ahead. Let me tell you what caught my eye. Dak Prescott, unbelievable. And by the way, just in case for some of you that don't know who number 12 is, you know who number 12 is, Tilley? Can you see that?
A guy named Roger Staubach.
That's Captain Comeback. For those of you that don't know, for you youngins out there, that's one of the greatest human beings and quarterbacks of all time. Dallas Cowboy smacked up the Lions. We're going into Foxborough next week. Big game. I'm gonna have a lot on that game and a lot to do with it.
Now listen, you got to remember that if you're gonna be picking these games, you can't go with your heart. You got to go with your head.
I go in the winner's circle. Heart or head doesn't really matter. It's where you end up. All
right.
You know what I am.
And if you have a problem with gambling, call Gamblers Anonymous, right?
Absolutely.
Okay?
You know what? I'm very curious to know, who are these Atlanta Falcons? Who are these Atlanta Falcons? What happened to the team what happened to the team that for the better part of the year, you know what the Falcons gave up before their wins? In order: 53, 34, 37, 27. They get a bye, and then they go to New Orleans, shut them down, hold Drew Brees to 9 points. Then they go into Carolina and hold Carolina, who's not a juggernaut, but still the 3 points beat them 29-3.
Cam Newton's out.
What happened there? Where did Carolina come from, man? Because that was your pick at the beginning of the year, man. Right? You said something about Matty Ice, man.
Yeah. Falcons. I like them as a wild card team.
Yeah.
I always liked New Orleans from the outset, but I thought the Falcons had a shot to get in there.
Bills also did what we expected, what I expected anyways. They came out and handled the Dolphins rather easily.
Well, the Dolphins have gone back to the business of trying to get that draft pick.
You know what? If you have any aspirations to secure the wild card, because both wild card teams in the AFC will have 7 losses by the end of the year. Listen to me and know what I'm talking about. So if the Bills want to get up to 9 wins and they're on 7 right now, you got to beat the Dolphins in Miami. That's a game that you got to have, because from here you play Denver at home, you're in Baltimore, you're in Dallas. You get in New England, man. It doesn't get easy for the Bills. So the Bills to this point in time have shown glimpses.
You got to make hay while the sun shines.
There you go. Yeah. The Bills have shown glimpses to this point in time, right?
Yeah.
They've shown glimpses. But we're going to get a true test as to what kind of football team this is moving forward. What else did we want to talk about? 49ers and the Cardinals. What a crazy ending. For anybody that gambles, man, that was a ridiculous ending. 30-26 Niners. With 2 seconds left on the clock, and they do, when they're trying this laterals and do that Stanford thing with the band, and they fumble the ball, and the guy from San Francisco takes it the other way, and the spread goes from 4 to 10.
Oh,
you know, there's suicide. There's something going on that's funny, man. And that's the dirty nature. If you put your money out of your pocket to bet NFL football, man, you know what you're asking for it some days.
If you're betting money and it's fun and you don't need the money you're betting, it's a good thing. But if you're hurting yourself doing it, don't do it. Anyway, so I think that's about all we have for today's show. I just want to say that we have been the Tilley and Billy Show.
Good wings over here.
All right. Where are we? Burgers are on the way. All right, we're having burgers today. Beautiful. All right, we're having burgers today. We are at Billiards Academy and Sports Lounge, family owned and operated since 1971. Oldest pool hall in the city. Great burgers. We're going to find out real quick. 45 Danforth Avenue. Come on upstairs and see Evangelos and the gang. And we're also sponsored by Coolbet, the world's most transparent sports book. Come on. There you go. I'm Jill the Swiss Tilley.
Billy the Greek.
All right, we'll see you next week.